There's a look at Bills Stadium here in Orchard Park, New York. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. First 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Fielded near the back of the end zone. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Wilson on first down. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And just shouting him off there. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there on the first play of the game. 53 yards. So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 22-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
It's a gain of 10.
Good gain by Chris Carson. Picks up a first down, and you just have to love his running style. Talk about a straight-ahead guy, no-nonsense type of a runner. He's averaged 82 yards a game over the last 2 seasons and had 1,230 yards on the ground in 2019.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. First and goal at the 1. Penny will try to punch it in. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Touchdown.
Rashad Penny, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Seahawks 7. Bills nothing. Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Going deep for Diggs. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive.
Intended,
but instead 3rd down.
incomplete.
And that may have been incomplete, but he reminds me so much of when my dad used to take me to the baseball stadium and watch the home run hitters in batting practice. I'll get to the stadium early just to watch this kid throw it. He can throw it out of the stadium.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen, he's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. From the gun, it's Allen. That one is caught by Hunt. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. Allen's throw is complete, and he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Throwing again, Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Austin Hooper. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. The game at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Brought down.
A gain of 3, second down.
A 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Wilson's pass.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
It's a gain.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
To Chris Carson.
Chris Carson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Now Myers for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Makes the score Seahawks 14, Bills 7. Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Big stop, let's go. March 49. March 49.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs.
Allen's pass complete to Stephon Diggs. Out of bounds at the 44-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays, but you also have to have good feel as well because you can't see everything out there. See the play unfold, feel what's going on, and then get into the right spot and make your own play. And in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good, and it is now 21-7. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, Right back out there doing the things that he does best and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And 22 more yards there and another first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
37-yard line.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he completes it to Hunt. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back, and it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3.
Firing quickly is Allen. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. John Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills have cut it to within a score. Tyler Bass now for the point after. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now.
Makes the score Seahawks 21, Bills 14.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will make it into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well. So
flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at their 49-yard line.
Wilson rolling to his right. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Mario Addison in on the stop.
2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. They'll run the screen with Carson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Tackle made there by Matt Milano. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
from the 16. Wilson, this will be caught just inside the 10.
Wilson.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
First and goal.
Two veterans there, Wilson to Olsen for a Seattle first down. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for first and goal. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal.
At the 2-yard line. A 4-yard.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is a defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the gun, Allen. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From midfield, here's Allen. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
By the Seahawks.
Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
To number 16, Tyler.
Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. Here the Seahawks. They're able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it when.
And Allen and going to be intercepted for the third time. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Intercepted.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. A.J. Klein on the tackle there. Second down at 6 now from the 42. From the shotgun, Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
First down, Seattle.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Wilson slings this out to Metcalf. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
It's a lawsuit.
Second and 12.
Second and 12 at the 13-yard line.
Now Wilson out to his left. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Intercepted. The Bills take over first and 10.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
From the 24, they'll go again on second and 10. To throw again. Allen. Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Take over first and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going.
And now here is another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. That one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key. Crucial.
2nd and 10 at the Bills' 37-yard line.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend the lead out to 24. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Going deep for Diggs. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
They throw again on 2nd down. This one's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
At the 49-yard line.
Allen now on 1st down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
5-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Allen to throw once more. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
That's good.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
On 1st down, Allen. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, they'll throw with Allen. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
At the 24-yard line.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And my goodness, another interception. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick, and he'll bring this one back to the 29. Well, to be frank, Cini, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him, but you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on, but it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile.
8 yards to go.
third down, Wilson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
19 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. This is Carson, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
To Chris Carson.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Ball carrier.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Wilson now to throw on third down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. A.J. Klein with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately.
And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Intercepted.
The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks.
Complete to Chris.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
First down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now it's Carson. Room here to run. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Seahawks. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. And what are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player on the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And it's complete. Hooper. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And again, it's Allen. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Austin Hooper with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bills get a bit close. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. So he's hit Pater twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't it? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy. And this will make it into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They run again with Carson. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And it brings up 3rd down.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Underneath, he's got Olsen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
First, tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, They often stay on the field longer than you expect.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And he's gone 2-2 on us now. At 2 receiving touchdowns, now his 2nd rushing touchdown.
And that's the back of the NFL.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And that'll be incomplete.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs.
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when he snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smelled terrible. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen. That's caught at the 25. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. If you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes, he just takes off and goes. And I think that's what we just saw there.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. That catch good for only a couple.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And got his man complete. And he's got room. And he is finally out of bounds all the way down at the 30. It's a big play on 3rd down for the Seahawks. 41 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. 2nd and 11 now.
I got you. 44 is the mic. 44
They run it with Carson. Space to run past the 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line.
Today's final score, Seahawks.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.